is for the products setup. Products is going to be used for inventory purposes. This will be a probably, this is up to you, Navish, but this is probably going to be a new microservice, as products that are checked in need to also be checked out. So we obviously could potentially have millions of records of products, as we need to be able to support what's called FIFO, FIFO, which stands for first in, first out inventory. So this is going to allow us to support the cost of each individual product that comes in and out of a practice location. So obviously we're going to add a configuration item here to products, or in the little slide out here under the configuration module for products. And here we have our standard list if no active things exist. But when you click on configuration and products, it's going to start at a tab called vendors. So we've got multiple tabs up here. We've got vendors, brands, types, and products. Okay. Standard thing that we always do. So you're going to click on add vendor, and then you get our vendor details. So this is filled out. I'm trying to cut the amount of design that I have to go into because everything is standard. So obviously, you know, the pre-fill color, you just pre-fill everything with the, field label inside of here. But this is like the Rolodex. So the vendors are basically who the practices are, well, what companies' practices are ordering products from. So you're going to want to make sure we support the company name with their account number. They're going to probably have a specific dedicated account manager, which is the first and last name, country, address. We'll want to use the type ahead that Google, through the Google thing that we're also using in the contacts module. So we'll want to use that here. But this is all optional. We'll want to do their phone number, their email, the website that they'll probably put in to order. And then most of the times in the memo, the practice will put their their login information into the vendor memo. Okay, and they'll hit save. And then it goes into the list. Here is our toast when a new one is created. Here is the toast when one is updated. So if we click into Allergan, it's going to take us back to this screen. So we're going to click into this screen. You have the ability to toggle it active, inactive, and then you have the ability to save it here. We're going to need to do, I don't have a screen for this, but much like the billing categories, a vendor should not be able to be inactivated if it is in use by a brand. So vendors sell a brand, which we're going to show you next. So that's it for vendors. Pretty simple, CRUD, standard stuff. Next, we're going to go into the brands tab. Zoom in a little bit. So you see here we got brands. You have no active brands, and then we got brand name, and then the vendor that supports it. The brand name and can be supported by multiple vendors. So I want to do a simple add where basically I select a vendor, and then I list out every single brand that vendor supplies to me. So it could be Allergan, it could be Skin Medica, several items could be listed here, okay? So same as always, but we're gonna set our vendor first, and then all of these get applied to that particular person. We wanna make sure that in the add process that, like, let's say, for example, if I come in here and I do, well, actually, never mind. We'll just do it a different way. We'll do it on the edit screen. One vendor here, and then you add your brands. If sometimes different locations will have a different vendor for the same product, just because like one might be in Florida and the other one may be in California. So the brand name needs to be able to eventually be, or well, it needs to support two or more vendors, so multiple vendors in that relationship. So see, here we have our toast for adding the brands and the toast for updating the brands so that you have the verbiage as to what that needs to look like. Our count needs to go up, obviously. Um, and then here is just a simple edit screen where we have the brand details and then the vendors that are selected. So this is going to be your um, probably that little component that you use um, like that, you know, so that they can select multi-select and then X out of the ones that they're not going to use. This is also, it looks like it's probably a waste of real estate. So I'm probably, when you see the designs, this is probably going to be in a modal form, much like the other things, because with the brands, there's not too much data right now that needs to go into it where it needs its own page. So we'll probably, when you see the designs, I'm going to change this into a modal form. We want to also make sure that when we do the product setup that we make sure that brands can't be inactivated if they're in use by a product. So we'll probably have to circle back around to that once everything is built and constructed, and then just make everything intermingle together, just so we don't mess up any data on the backside of things. Here we have our types. These are product types with the billing category. So what I mentioned in the last video, you add a product type. Well, here you have your new tab, add product type. Same thing here. So we're going to set a billing category, and then we're going to add our product type names in separate lines. And here is an example of some product type names that they would put in. So exfoliators or cleansers and exfoliators, eye care, face masks, face sun care, moisturizers, natural skin care, treatments and serums. Billing category all set to skin care products. These also could, it could say skincare, it could say makeup, so that's how that relationship will work. Messed that up, didn't update that. 7, this is the toast for the add, this is the toast for the update. And again, same thing here, not much data. I'm going to turn this into a modal, and this is for editing. You got your active switch. If the product type is in use by a product, it should not be able to be inactivated. And then we're going to get into the meat. So this is the meat of the product. This is where everything is going to be tracked. So this is like the actual product itself. So on this tab, we're going to want to make sure we have a filter for brand, and we're going to need a filter for type. Okay. Click on add product. And here you're going to see the product details. So this is very similar. Well, it's kind of like the same interface ish for like the provider setup, the user. So this is eventually going to feed an online store for this practice. Okay. So your brand drop down here obviously is going to contain a list of all of the brands that they created here in this screen. And then the name is just going to be the name of the product, free text. The size could be like 7OZ, but this is optional. This product name right here, I'm going to actually just kind of jump forward to how this is filled out, because I want to make sure that you understand this. So this is the default, what it's going to look like when they're just adding a new product. Product. I'm going to put this to be product. I guess it has to be in there twice. The crumbs are a little weird because it's products, and then there's an additional products in there too. So maybe I'll align this with what I do for services, and then I put details. Okay, so I'll just put details in there. That way it's kind of consistent. So I'll update that. And then, so here's what it looks like when a thing is all filled out. So obviously they're going to need to be able to upload a picture. Use your cropper, the 500, make sure it's proportionate. We want to make sure that that it is going to look nice in the space that we designate on the online store when we build that out. But see, they've selected the brand from the list, facial foaming cleanser, and then 7 ounces. So in the product name, we're basically formulating a name for them that's consistent amongst their selections and what they've entered in over here. So we put Elta MD space, whatever they type in the name, and then the size of the product in parentheses. Okay. This is optional, so if they don't put the size in here, do not show the parentheses. That does not make any sense. Product type is a selection here of everything that they put into this screen. Okay, so this particular list right here is the product type, exfoliator and cleanser, and our fee group. This is going to be a hard-coded list that is used for billing, and I will be providing that list of all of the different options that need to be put in here. So this one is going to, when you add a product, it should default to products. Because that's what they're going to be putting in a majority of the time. You got your SKU here. So this is like their barcode. I need to make this not bold. I literally just reviewed all this stuff and missed some things. So your available locations. This is basically where out of your location list in the configuration, where is this product available? Okay. What is the price? What are we selling this for? What is the cost? Okay. What is the cost that they pay? This is going to be variable, but this is going to be a default so that, in the future, they can, put in, they can run reports. So if they're not checking their products in like they should be, then we'll run eventually the reports off of this number. Billable is a toggle switch, so this is a yes/no. Rewards is a toggle switch. Online toggle switch. Can return toggle switch, yes/no. Billable basically is a future thing. When we build a bill, they'll put this product on the bill, but it will not, the amount or the price will not increase the bill amount. So it's basically like they need to track the inventory of this product, but not necessarily charge for it. Okay. It needs to be able to, the price needs to be able to support $0 values. Okay. Sometimes these will be 0 and the cost will be like $5 and they'll want to use that for a profit and loss analysis, for surgeries or whatever. Rewards is, can this product, when it's sold, earn reward points later? So just yes or no. Can this product be sold online? Can you return this product? Later, we're going to be building out a return policy once we get into billing. What does the return policy look like if items are able to be returned? Description here, I wouldn't think anything over like 1,000 characters would, need to happen. And then you also have your product page URL. This right here, actually, I'm taking this out. We don't need to do this. So this is going to go bye. And then obviously here we have our inventory tracking. So we will enable the inventory tracking if they want to track the inventory. We're not keeping on-hand amounts inside of the inventory configuration. We are focusing on which locations this product is available at, what the supplier, or I'm sorry, this is vendor, what the supplier is for each location, which user is responsible for ordering at that location, at what point when the inventory hits a specific value. So in this instance at Emirage Medical Group, when this particular product hits 5, it's going to signal them to reorder that product. So this is just a variable. We'll probably need to go all the way up to, in the thousands, I would imagine, if we're talking like Botox units and stuff like that. And then how many do they want to reorder each time? So you see that this is different for each one. The available locations right here needs to be driven based off of what is selected right here. So if the location is not selected up here, like it's not available, it should not be an option in this drop down menu, because we're saying right here that it's not available at this particular location, so we shouldn't be tracking inventory at the location that it's not available in. The responsible users, this should provide a list of users in alphabetical order, very much like the one that we use for the user access. So let me sign in real quick, and I want to show you what we like the component we want to use here for the responsible users. It is a multi-select, so it will probably, well, actually no, it needs to show their first and last name and their username in it, like we do for providers, I think it is. Yes. So here you can see providers. We show the first name, the last name, and the username in parentheses. The same should be for the responsible users, but yours will probably be like Christy, Perry, X, with the tags, and then Jacob Horn, X. So that's going to be, that's typically how we do our multi-selects. So that's that. And then product locations is basically where in the practice does this product live? So believe it or not, there is multiple locations in which a product lives. So sometimes they have the product in what's called a back bar, which is they pick things off the shelf in the back to use on patients, while they're being treated. And then there's the front desk, like the front lobby area, which is the actual store. So each allowed location can have multiple product locations, but it's just a simple free text thing where they can say, I want to enable product locations. I could even say, if I wanted to get into the nitty gritty, I could say this is in the front lobby, shelf 4, but it's just a free text. So they should be able to add multiple product locations for an allowed location. So again, much like your inventory tracking, if it's not allowed, you cannot do product at it here at the bottom. And then here you have your information with the benefits, the risks, and instructions. We will later use this to pull that information through into like emails and receipts and stuff like that. But right now we just need to store it in the individual tabs. The next thing here, inside of the products is where our gift cards are going to live. So here is an example of a gift card, and as you see, the fee group, when I set the fee group to gift cards, the price is there and the value is there. So these components right here change based on this fee group being set to gift cards. So if the fee group is set to gift cards, I'm changing, the price will be here. So this particular example would be like my price would be $150, but it's worth $300. Okay. This toggle switch right here basically it says custom. So what that means is like when they add, some people just want to, like if you ever go to the store or get like a Visa gift card, you just get the card, you take it to the cash register, and you say, how much do you want to put on this? And you just say $100 or $50. So the custom is just a flag on the gift card that will allow them to specify that amount at time of checkout. So we'll worry about that later. If it is a gift card, they still do need to be able to do inventory tracking and product locations. The reason being is because they may order physical cards. So as they sell, like we won't provide them with the physical cards. Down the road we'll build them like an e gift card type thing where we can email them a card or some an image or whatever. Um, but obviously we're not building that out just yet. So it does need to be able to track the inventory. So if they run out of the physical cards that they issue, we need to make sure that they can order more. So that is considered a product that needs to be tracked. But as you see, the price and the value components right here are just different. And then obviously an information thing for instructions if it's a gift card. So I just wanted to make sure that that was clear. You can put a picture. They might upload a picture of a balloon or celebration or Mother's Day or something like that. Again, this will be obviously a toggle switch. Can this be sold online or not? You know. And then here you have an example of having a product in the product list where we got the product added and then product updated toasts. And then here you have your editing of the product. Um, the product, oh shit. Yep, so obviously, with our structure that we use here, we've got the save button and the close or the cancel button right here. Take this off. I'll fix all that here before I upload it. And that is going to be the products.